Hey, Earth Signs. Thank you for tuning in. This is Cindy with Quantum Kaleidoscope. So I'm going to do a reading for the next month. So ultimately it's for December, but like all my readings, they are timeless. So if you find yourself, you know, here at some point in time that's not December or later on, there's still likely a message for you. But if you are watching this in December, though, I am doing a bit of a contest. So stay tuned to the end to find out a little bit about it. But basically, I'm going to be offering free readings galore throughout December. Okay. So anyways, so stay tuned and I'm going to jump right into it. So hopefully you've been doing well. There was an eclipse at the end of November. So that is still probably influencing us right now. Like, I mean, eclipses, bring stuff in and clips things out rather suddenly. So I don't know if anything has happened for you recently, but you probably will find that it's going to play out throughout the whole month, as we do have a solar eclipse in Sagittarius coming around the 15th or something like that. So hold on tight kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull three cards from the Moonology deck and then jump into some tarot. So with the all full moons, right, it does correspond to the energy from 6 months prior. So you might have noticed that there's been some kind of culmination or something that has really finished, or you're getting really like a lot of progress from something that's been happening over the last 6 months. Okay, so I'm going to do is just do a quick 3 card spread with these to see kind of like a past, present, future of what's kind of going throughout December. So what can we tell earth signs? So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, what information can we help them tell them today to help them stay in highest vibration and on their truest path? Okay, so what we have in the past, okay, or what you've maybe been dealing with, okay, is emotions are running high. Okay, so have you found that you've been pretty emotional? Maybe there's been a lot of conflict. Maybe you found that there's been like some kind of explosion, but so I mean, there probably has been a period of where you kind of been balancing your emotions. Okay, and you right now or throughout the month, okay, is balance spirituality with practicality. Okay, so I did just mention balance. Okay, so like especially if your emotions been running high. I mean, okay, we have here it's a super moon. Okay, super moon is when the moon is the closest to Earth that it's going to be. And you generally have maybe, 3 supermoons in a year. I believe it means that I used to know how many, it's like 200,000 kilometers or something like that. Anyway, so it generally looks really huge, but basically in this deck, this means that there's been like a major, development, so like maybe you've been kind of going through like the dark night of the soul, or just really kind of, balancing, what's been happening in the world, for example. Okay. And so, but here, now it's like there's a blend of practicality and spirituality. Like maybe some of the problems in the past have been, believing that they can't coexist or something can't coexist, but it is about balance. And we have the full moon in Pisces as well. Okay. So this can represent something that like might really actually started back in like Pisces season, which is like, end of March kind of thing, early April. Okay. No, I don't know why I said early April, because it's not. Anyways, why is there this damn fly? Like, shouldn't they be dead? I'm sorry, I don't want flies to. Okay, they have their purpose. Okay, sorry. Okay, and where this is taking you, okay, is work through your fears. So, which is amazing. We also have new moon in Scorpio. Okay, so it's like really like, yeah, like I mean, if something's been going back and forth, or like things have just been changing, you've been fearful of the future. Like I mean, people necessarily know what's ahead. There's so many changes, okay? But you're going to work through this. You're going to step through it, and you're going to step out stronger. And we're going to say this under the deck is your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Okay? Capricorn season is coming up next. Okay? I don't know when the new moon is. Okay? So if the new moon in Sagittarius is around the 15th, 16th or something like that, okay? You're talking about roughly 4 weeks later. So, early, around the 10th or 11th or something like that of the next month. I don't know. I can't. I can't think right now. Anyways, but your hard work is paying off, so keep that in mind, okay? And so you might start seeing stuff, or as we're heading into the new year, kind of thing. Right when there we have the moon. Okay, so this is about, like, I was just trying to shuffle and it just popped out. Okay, so this is about working through your fears. Okay, like this is about like going deep within, and like look at like her dress, right? Like, I mean, normally if you're wearing a white dress like this, you're not just gonna go through the mud, like, but she has no fear for this. Like, she might have had to, in order to get to the other side, in order to like climb up these stairs. It's just like, okay, I don't care what I'm wearing, I'm gonna go for it, and then we have here too the King of Wands. So this can represent like maybe a person around you is maybe something that has caused some fear, okay? But I mean, from looking within, like I think that you've done a lot of internal work over these last 6 months, okay? That it's now about putting things in action, balancing it, and going after what your, the intuition is telling you. Like, I mean, with the moon, like, we can't see very clearly, Like, I mean, you can like, okay, recently, so I've moved recently and I've been lived in Toronto my whole life, and now I'm in a small town, okay? And the first time I went downtown to walk, like I don't drive. Hopefully I'll rectify that at some point, So, I mean, to go to the local coffee shop was like a half an hour walk, and like the first time I was doing it, like I had to have a flashlight. Well, I still have to have a flashlight, it's pretty dark, but and then I didn't know what was beside me. Okay, what was beside me was like, I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this a forest? Like, I'm walking down Main Street, why is there this forest? And I'm like just picturing like things jumping out from the dark, and I'm like, I don't know, something gonna just jump out and eat me, right? A city girl, right? I guess, Okay. Little do I know. Well, I mean, I'm telling myself this too. I'm like, I don't think there's a forest there. But of course, in the light, I realize it's just some damn, like, tree fence. Like, I mean, there's part of the forest, okay, that might be like 10 feet deep. And there's part of it that's just like right past that tree, there's a field. Like, yes, animals always go around. I keep seeing all these bunnies, apparently this area has a lot of bunnies, which is awesome, but I mean, in the dark, a bunny jumps out of the forest, it's gonna scare me, but, one thing that we can definitely rely on is the fact that when the moon sets, the sun rises, and then we have clarity, we realize that what we were so fearful of wasn't actually that scary. It was just a tree fence, not a forest where any animals were gonna jump out and like eat me. So maybe that resonates, maybe that doesn't. But ultimately that's the concept of the moon, And so with the moon too, and in that walk, like I didn't turn around. I kept going. I'm like, I want my coffee. Anyways, so I'm going to do, I don't know, a few card spread. So what can we tell earth signs to help them through the month, What will help them stay in highest vibration and on their truest path? Okay. Okay. I'm like just cutting it. One of these days I'll set everything up. Okay. you right now in the situation, maybe as the time you're watching this or throughout the month, okay? We have Two of Wands, okay? Which is interesting. I just did a, like, next 48 reading, so check it out if you're interested. Two of Wands definitely came out, and so it's really interesting in the sense of, you know, again, how, you know, decks can depict different images, right? Like, or different depictions, you know, because I mean, the Two of Wands in that deck is completely different about the Two of Wands in this deck, you know. But ultimately, so I just checked and looked in the reflection, looked like it said Three of Wands. But this is about having the world in your hand. Like, ultimately, it is still a situation about, you know, choosing one path over another kind of thing. But I mean, ultimately, I do feel that, like, you know, if there has been like a crossroads or something, you know, like, I mean, if we remember back to the immunology cards that came out, right? It's like, there's been a lot of emotional turmoil, you know, within yourself or amongst others, right? Like, and there's been maybe some fear that's coming in. It's like, really, you have the world in your hands. Now, granted, in this case, it's also like she has the skull, you know, but it's kind of like also being like, I released the past, the skeletons of the past, okay, and I embrace the newness and this transformation, okay. This does represent that there would have been some kind of new cycle that you are beginning, okay. You know, before this you had some inspiration, you know, and now it's like, okay, I can put the plans in action now. You know, like, I can see what is transforming. Okay? And underneath the deck, just because it was facing me, you know, we have a Four of Pentacles. So there could be something that you've definitely been holding back. You know, whether this is your emotions or just holding back, you know, something, you know, within yourself, like in the sense of, you know, from potentially fear. You know, like the Four of Pentacles here is about stability, but it's also like known can be like the miser card, you know, like the miser, like in the sense of, yeah, you're secure maybe, you know, but if you're not giving as much as you're taking or whatever, if you have this whole abundance that you're just, you know, or something, like, even if it's, you know, you're holding back your emotions, for example, it's like something that needs to be shared potentially, if that's something that you are like, if that's what's been, you know, something's been holding you back. You know, it's kind of like, I feel secure here, but this is also a stagnancy. You know, it's like almost like you know, it's like, if I let go of this, what will I have then? You know, but however, by holding on too tightly anyways, there's going to be loss. Five of Pentacles comes after this. You know, it's not like, I know it's not always linear and things like that, you know, but by holding on too tightly, okay, by, you know, letting fear, you know, control you, for example, you know, that negativity is going to affect your choices. You know, it's going to affect how you see this burning skull. You know, like this burning skull, like, I mean, it could be very scary. Like, oh my God, it's in my hands, it's gonna burn me, you know? But at the same time, it's like, maybe she's getting this strength from it, this power. Like, I don't know, it's reminding me about this one time, like, my cat, Paige, she like walked over the table and I had a candle, you know, and all of a sudden her tail caught on fire and I just sprung into action, you know, with my bare hand. I just went, you know, and put out that fire, you know, without even thinking about it, you know. And it's just like, sometimes, you know, you maybe like, that's the best way to approach fear, you know. I don't know, like, but either way, you're holding back something, you know, or you might feel stable, but maybe bored, or like, you know, nothing's really changing, you know, but you need to create the change as well. So, like, what are you holding back on? Okay. So the challenge is the Tower. Okay. So this is big change. Big change. So the Tower is Well, see, the Tower happens. And you're holding on too tight sometimes. You know, there can't be growth, right? Like, I mean, and this is, the Tower is about something has been done in the past that meant that things were on rocky foundations. Okay? So maybe you've had some Tower moments, you know? It's like you have, you know, like this opportunity, this plan. Okay? But the challenge is the Tower. So either like because of a Tower that has happened, you know, or maybe like an epiphany that has happened, like maybe that's causing you to potentially think that it may not be successful, you know, and maybe it's like, you know, like, so you're going to hold on to something for short-term gain that has not really an opportunity to grow. The Four of Pentacles, like, I mean, that is about, like, I mean, things can't grow at that point unless you change it up, okay? So your challenge could be that you need to change things up. You know, you may need to, you know, communicate something or, you know, start brand new, you know, start again, you know, but like, and the thing is that if you take too long to decide with this Two of Wands, you know, exactly like how, or you just kind of stick into like planning and, but you're holding back on your plans, or you're too afraid to move forward, the Tower is going to come in with or without you. The Tower is divine intervention. Okay? We can definitely, we have control, like we have free will, right? So we can do things and make choices, okay? So that we can lower the damage. You know, like let's think of like, okay, like if you were going to, you need to like blow up a building, you know, like in construction or whatever, right? You know, there are ways to create that explosion and implosion so that nobody gets hurt. You know, it's like the tower still goes down and you need to build something else. You know, it still happens. You know, you can't stop that. You know, but like you can lessen the damage. You know, by not holding back. Okay. So you maybe like kind of subconsciously, you know, or what might be like, you may not be aware of this, is Five of Wands. So, I mean, there's definitely conflict. This is why this is happening, okay? So that change can come in, you know, like there's a chance again for Five of Wands, you know, like bringing in change in terms of, you know, like that can lead to success, you know, Six of Wands, right? You know, coming home victorious, you know, but there's some kind of conflict either within yourself, you know, or within another, you know, that either you're having like a hard time, challenging time releasing that and taking the steps forward that you need to, you know, you need to do. Or again, like, I'm not sure. Okay, so the past is Four of Swords. So we have another four, so there could be something, a lot about your stability, maybe a lot about your home, you know? And so the Four of Swords, though, is healing, which is good. This is really good. Okay, so I mean, like, this is rest, you know, this is healing. You've been taking the time out, you know, like, you know, time heals all, really, you know, and so the fact that this is the past that's influencing you now, okay, is that, like, you're ready. You're ready to shake things up, okay? Like, I mean, Towers, like, it's a shake-up. It can be exciting, you know? And it's like, Four of Swords, you know, again, a lot of rest. Like, I mean, before that, there would have been some heartbreak with a Three of Swords, some kind of disappointment or some kind of end or some kind of stop, you know? but you've been resting, you've been healing, but now you're at a situation, now you're at a crossroads where you need to make a decision, you know? Is it about like ending a conflict once and for all, you know? Like what you know, what's on your mind, like, or what is being like guided to you from above. It's the world. Okay, so we have the Tower and the World in terms of the major arcana, okay? So there is a major ending, major beginnings here, okay? The World is graduation. You know a cycle needs to end, okay? So I don't know if you're in a crossroads between like whether or not you blow something up in a figurative sense, you know, or whether you keep trying or whatever the case, but there's a huge new cycle. This could also represent a trip too, you know, over the world or something like that, you know, like to do something about this tower, or the challenge is like to end this tower. If there has been something like some conflict, like in the sense of, you know, bickering or people just not on the same page, you know, maybe a lot of competition, you know, but it's like, I don't know, where this is taking you throughout the month, okay, is the moon. So it came out again. So this, I do take this, okay, is you're going to face your fears. You know, you are going to get clarity. You are going to potentially go within and just like see what makes you happy, see what changes needs to be done, okay? Following your intuition, following, you know, like where the moon takes you. So what kind of guidance can we give, you know, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns, you know, to help them throughout the month? What kind of guidance? Because of this one too. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So there's potentially a choice about somebody, you know, or this is like a choice, like again, within yourself, you know, like where you're like about yourself, like how, you know, you want to move forward. You know, the King of Wands, though, like again, if you're an earth sign, this may not represent you, this can't represent somebody else, but they're a king. You know, they're the master of the energy that they represent, you know, and, you know, but with the Seven Pentacles, that is like assessment. You know, it's like, do I still invest? Or how do I invest? You know, this is like, again, this is like the black swan, you know? Like maybe, like I'm thinking something like if there's a choice in terms of like, you know, going after black sheep of the family or something like that, or assessing or something like that, or releasing those kind of thoughts maybe about yourself or something, or, you know, but this swan here, okay, they have like been through a lot, you know, like, I mean, you can compare it with the moon, right? Okay, you can almost look at it as like, you know, deciding whether to make that deep dive. You know, diving into those emotions, diving into your shadow side, okay, and rising up into the king, okay, because this can potentially be the before, you know, that decision, you know, and then it's actually like you can think like her dress is all black right now, you know, but it's almost like by taking the dive into the emotions, you know, looking within and coming out the other side, it actually refreshes you, it cleans you, it brings this new start, you know, and it's either with another person or this is about you stepping into your power, you know. So things have been hard, like, I mean, like, I think you're ready, like you're ready to make a decision. You're ready to step into this new life. You're ready to accept your graduation, you know, and your like rewards for it, okay? And all the hard work you've been doing. Okay, so keep doing it. Face those fears. Okay, like, I mean, yes, we need to think about it. Yes, we need to be, you know, smart and mature. You know, you don't just jump in like without like I want to say without a safety net, but like, I mean, it depends on the situation, right? You know? Anyways, you know. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. I do think that, like, there are new things happening for you, a new cycle. Let this tower fall if it needs to. You know, don't resist. Like, it's like with the Four of Pentacles, you know, it's like, no, I can't let this tower fall. No, I'm gonna hold it up. I was watching Anthony Bourdain, like, or whatever, yesterday, and he was like seeing the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and he was like kind of making fun of people, being like, apparently it's a thing of like standing up there and trying to like look like you're holding the the tower, and that's the only thing, like, you're not really gonna hold that tower up. You know, it's an illusion if you think you can keep that tower from falling. You know, the universe is gonna come in and do it, you know, with or without you. And you don't want to miss an opportunity, you know, at the same time, because that could be the tower, you know, also by taking too long, holding on too long, missing opportunities, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I missed that. Shit. Anyways, I have faith in you. You rock. So thank you again. If you like this, please add a like or subscribe. I am doing a contest throughout December. So starting on Sunday, the first Sunday in December, whenever that day is, that's tomorrow, depending on when you watch this, I'm going to pick one of the subscribers. You do need to have your account public for me to even see who you are. Otherwise, but yes, I will pick somebody to have every Sunday a free reading, as well as I have decided to, as well, for every 5th person who subscribes, I'm going to offer them a free pick a card. Okay, so when the next time I get on to a computer, I'm going to take away the subscriber amount, okay, and so that we can do for the next every 5 subscribers, you will get a free question pick a card kind of thing. Okay, and so my goal is I would like to be able to have a customized YouTube name, and so I need 100 subscribers for that. So help me, I'll help you, and we're all good. Anyways, have a great month, and we'll talk to you soon.